Good morning from Athens. Good morning from Athens. Look at that. Let me show you the scenes. This is Athens, and in fact it's Thursday morning. We're getting ready to leave and head north to Thessalonica. So the sun is rising there in the east, and you can see right here the main feature of Athens itself. That is the Acropolis, and right in the middle of Athens is this huge tabletop mountain. And right in the middle of that is the Parthenon, and then the temple that's the temple to Athena, and then the primary temple to Athena is this little temple right in front. Now, if you go down on the other side, you get to Piraeus. That's the port of Athens, and then if you can see coming up here, this is the way up to the Acropolis, and that's the processional way that you come up, and there's a number of temples that you have to go through at the entrance there as well. The Parthenon means virgin in Greek, and so we have those two temples to Athena, the virgin goddess and protector of Athens. One particularly interesting thing, if you can see, it's hard to see here, but if you can see right there by the temple, there's a olive tree. It was thought, the old myth was that Athena gave the olive tree as a gift to the city of Athens. So that was where the first olive tree in the history of olive trees was planted, right there. Now, the Parthenon is on the other side of the hill. The temple to Athena is on this side, and the idea there is when you're sailing in, you see the Parthenon. You're impressed by this huge, massive thing. But when you're sitting here in the city of Athens, you see the temple of Athena who's there. Now, all those temple complexes are on the top, and then the old city, the Agora, is down here in this green space, and then this rock outcropping right there, that's Mars Hill, or the Areopagus. And there's never any buildings up there, but that is the place where people would come, and there was a senate. There was sometimes 7, sometimes 50, depending on how big Athens was, and the men would come and sit on top of that rock, and that is where St. Paul is brought from the marketplace onto the top of the Agora, and he preaches, "Men of Athens, I see that you are very religious, because even here you have a statue to the unknown God, but God does not dwell in temples made with hands." And I mean, can you imagine Paul saying that when there's these temples all around? There's temples all around the place below him in the Agora. There's temples all above him there. And Paul says, no, God doesn't dwell in these places. And he says that God, in fact, will come and judge the world through the man appointed, Jesus Christ, who he confirmed by raising him from the dead. And they hear about the resurrection, and they just about go nuts. Resurrection? I mean, all the Greeks, the mystery religions, the old pagans, the Epicureans, the Stoics, none of them believed in the resurrection. I mean, if Paul wanted to offend all of the religious sensibilities of Athens, he only needed to mention the resurrection, which is precisely what he does. And they laugh. Some want to hear him more. There's 2 people who are converted. There's no church that's founded here that starts after this. So this is Athens. We were able to see that and tour around yesterday. Also visit Corinth yesterday, which is really fantastic. But I didn't get any good video. It's been a bit of a mad rush, but I'm going to try to do better. And we're going to go to Thessalonica and try to capture some stuff there. So there's a little view of the Acropolis and the city of Athens. Athens is unique in the ministry of St. Paul because there was no church that was founded in Athens. Dionysius the Areopagite, and one woman is mentioned at the very end of Acts chapter 17. In fact, her name is Damaris. She is mentioned, and those are the only 2 converts that we hear of. This Dionysius, though, the church tells us that he was able to found a church in Athens, and in fact was later martyred under the persecution by being burned and then having his head cut off. So Dionysius the Areopagite, the great Greek philosopher, was converted by Paul here on Mars Hill, and did help start a church. God be praised for that. And gave his life for it when he was in later persecution. So there's a bit about Athens.